You've got thousands of people every year who are killed who shouldn't be in completely preventable accidents.
Each year, nearly 4,000 people die on U.S. roads as the result of aggressive and unsafe trucks and drivers.
Now, that's according to the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance. Their job is to make sure those dangerous big rigs are off the road before someone gets hurt.
In this I-Team report, Cheri talks with the sister of one victim who lost his life in an accident the sister says could have been prevented.
We're a lot alike.
Cynthia Nunez says she remembers the day she lost her brother Patrick like it was yesterday.
June 19th, on a bright, sunny day.
It happened nearly 6 years ago. Patrick Nunez was on his way to work when a fully loaded 18-wheeler semi-truck slammed into his car.
The truck lost its left steering tire. At the moment, my brother was alongside the truck. And when the driver lost control,
trapping Nunez's car between the concrete median and the semi. He died at the scene, leaving behind a wife and 2 children. Cynthia Nunez says dealing with the pain of her brother's death became even more difficult when she learned that neither the driver nor the truck he was driving should have been on the road that tragic morning.
Because he had epilepsy, was taking medication that is known to slow your response time. There were problems with his brakes and his axles such that he shouldn't have been on the road.
But he was, and Cynthia Nunez says the trucking company knew about it, but did nothing.
When profits get squeezed and trucking companies start losing money, what's the very first thing that they skimp on? Safety, maintenance.
Steve Gursten is president of Michigan Auto Law in Farmington Hills. He says, unfortunately, what happened to Patrick Nunez is not that uncommon. And for 20 years, he's taken on truck companies who he says take shortcuts in order to keep costs down.
That means that you see now more bad brakes, more bald tires, and that causes the kind of debris and these kinds of accidents that you see when we drive down Michigan roads, where you see these rubber tires along the side of the road.
Gursten says too often, innocent people like Patrick Nunez pay the price.
What's happening is you've got thousands of people every year who are killed who shouldn't be in completely preventable accidents.
So just how serious is this problem? National testing found that 1 out of every 5 trucks that you see on the road is considered in out-of-service condition. What does that mean? Those trucks are serious safety hazards to other drivers.
Officer William Beam is with the Michigan State Motor Carrier Division. He spends his days looking for those safety violations.
In a typical day, you never know what you're going to run across or find. So you just have to be prepared and do what you got to do.
The I-Team was invited along for a day of inspection. It wasn't long before Officer Beam pulls over this truck and discovers a potentially dangerous situation.
Have you ever had one of these inspections before? This would be, I would say this could be an example of a worst case scenario. A vehicle with poor brakes with a poorly secured load.
Officer Beam cites the driver for multiple violations.
If he's got the permit good, great, he needs it. Load securement, add more chains to it. Brakes, we're going to find out.
Fortunately, a more serious outcome was avoided in this case. But Cynthia Nunez says more needs to be done to prevent tragedies like the one that happened to her brother Patrick.
There's a balance that companies have to make to still pay attention to safety and run their business.
Cheri, WNEM TV5.
Patrick Nunez worked as an engineer for the Defense Department. Ironically, his job there, making sure that equipment used by our troops was safe and worked properly.